Here we go. We're recording. So, Mr. Hillis, why don't you tell us who you are, uh, what you have become, and where, in God's name, are you here?
Sure. Well, I'm Luke Hillis, and what have I become? That's a profound question. But where we are is we're in the mountains of West Virginia on
Do you have any?
Purusha,
Do you have any proof of that?
all around.
Okay.
So Purusha is essentially a place for single men to go and focus on the development of enlightenment by having minimal distractions. Our food is made for us. We don't really have a whole lot of possessions here. We spend a lot of time meditating, get to spend time playing, not having too many responsibilities. And it's an ideal place for cultivating personal enlightenment. And so I thought a good place to start in terms of sharing would be like, why did I choose to come here? Because I think whenever you ask someone why they're doing something, it's always sort of a window into the deeper part of who they are. Because we can always do so many things at any point in time. There's so many decisions we could make of where we could live and what we could do, who we could be with, what to do for fun. There's just so many decisions that when someone actually picks one, it's interesting to ask them, why, or what's meaningful to them about that specific choice.
I wonder if there's a way to
Do
just.
you want to set it down?
Should I? I mean,
Yeah,
but
that's
then
fine.
so then I don't have to hold. God. Oh God, what just happened? Oh,
It's okay.
that didn't break anything.
No,
Did it?
that's
Okay,
fine.
so how do we? Should we? Sorry about that. A little technical difficulty here. So you just like.
Yeah.
Oh, look at isn't that cute? That little thing. Oh, whoops. Okay, yeah. Oh, and these things.
Yeah, these
go
things will come out.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so let's just make sure. Now, how do we? Okay, you tilt it like that. All right, cool.
Does the picture look all right? You can readjust things.
Yeah,
and whatever.
that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Good. Go ahead.
Okay. So where were we? Oh yeah, I was talking about how we have so many things that we can do at any moment in time that whenever someone chooses something to do, it reveals quite a lot about who they are, I think. And that's a good way to get to know someone. So, for example, if I'm meeting somebody new, then instead of I find questions like, oh, what do you do? Or how is your day? Or something to be not necessarily revealing much about who the person is. Because what if someone says, oh, I work as a waiter, or I work in an office, or, I mean, so many people work as a waiter, or so many people work in an office that there's not really anything revealed so much. But then what you could ask is something like, oh, well, how did you decide to become a waiter? How did you decide to get a job at this company? Or what keeps you there instead of looking for something else? Or that reveals more of the, here, let's not too much noise.
Sorry.
That reveals more into the soul of who they are in many ways.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's beautiful.
So for me being here on Purusha, I came here, I'll tell you, there's a few major things I want to do at this point in my life. And to give a little bit more context, I'm at a very special point in my life where the scratching is a little distracting.
Okay, here you go.
If you tap on your sweatpants or something, it'll be nice and soft.
Yes.
Where there is, so I'm at this place in my life where I have been working for a few years.
Yeah.
I've been working for a few years, and I was fortunate enough to manage to save up some money and be able to take a break from working, which is really precious because during these last few years, I have felt very, not comfortably able to take time to just relax and have fun and whatever. So,
Right.
so it's like I managed to tie up things at my work and actually have some money saved up. And then the big question becomes, okay, I've got time, I've got some savings. What am I going to do? And it's a very pivotal.
Well, here, let me. I'm just trying to get a comfortable. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's a very pivotal time in my life because I think.
Okay. Let's. Yeah. We can.
So,
Yeah.
if we can get past the word pivotal here, it's a time in my life where I think that the decisions that I make will have a major impact on how the rest of my life unfolds. Because if I use this time to really do something very meaningful that strengthens my confidence in who I am, or I manage to start some business endeavor that allows me to do what I really love in life in order to make a living, or get to know myself on some new level, then that'll change the rest of my life going forward. And conversely, with this time, if I just kind of go back to the things that I'm comfortable with too much and don't if I believe too much in doubts and things like that, I might end up having to go back to the life that I had before, which was really good in many respects. But I'm trying to continually move forward and really upgrade the level of freedom and passion in life for me. I would love to live a life of being able to travel whenever I want, being able to eat wherever I want, whatever I want. That to me is like wealth and abundance. If I'm able to go places like at the moment that I desire them, and I'm able to just get food and not worry about the cost. I love going to restaurants or bakeries or even grocery stores, and just buying delicious food and eating it. That to me gives me the feeling of freedom. And I think that's a real motivating thing in my life, is to feel free. So I'd love to never have to go back to work. And by work, I'm not necessarily referring to, creating things that better people's lives and making an income from it, but doing something that I don't really want to do overall. Like the kind of thing that I'm looking forward to the day when I get to move on past it. That to me is something that I would define as work. Okay, so tying back to this, the original question, which is why am I here on Purusha? I was just describing the context of my life, and I was debating different things. I was like, okay, one of my big desires is to be an inspirational speaker. I've also had this idea of creating a place where people could go to do their personal growth work. Those things I won't give so much detail on right now. But then the third desire I had at this stage was to join Purusha, because to me, Purusha is a place to really transform on a spiritual level. A lot of the personal development work that I do is more on the emotional and mental level, or even physical level as well. But with meditation, and specifically transcendental meditation and all the various forms of that we do here on Purusha for many hours a day, it's transformative on a deeper level. It's beyond the intellect and beyond the emotions and all of that. It's more foundational. And I thought, if I go on Purusha for a period of time, I could really get to know who I am in a fundamentally new way. And I could release stresses and have inner healing on just a fundamentally deeper level. And of all the things that I like to do, Purusha is actually kind of a hard thing to find time in one's life to do, because it's, we got to be here in this place, And to really do Purusha properly, I shouldn't be working, so that there's minimal responsibility and stress going on. So I can just really be easy with myself. That helps the process. And also, to be on Purusha, you have to be single. And I'm at a point in my life where my life supports being single at the moment. I won't go into the whole status of my relationship situation, but the simple version of it is that it works for me to be here right now. So, since all of those things line up, and I have some savings too. I can actually pay to be here. And, a lot of my life I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't working. So, with all of those pieces together, it seemed like the right time to do this. And then with the clarity that I get and the nature support that I get, that's another concept that when you meditate more, that you naturally your desires are more in tune with nature, and then thus nature supports the more effortless and successful fulfillment of your desires. So I was seeking that too. So that was clarity and nature support, and personal growth. Personal growth is a big thing that I'm about, and to do that on a really deep level, it's a special opportunity for that. And that's, I would say, why I'm here in Purusha, is that I wanted to draw the arrow back. Let me tell you this analogy. This is an analogy for meditation, but also really for anything that uses rest as the basis of activity. Now think of a bow and arrow. It's like, okay, you got the bow and the arrow, and you pull the arrow back. The farther you pull the arrow back, then when you release it, the more power it has when it shoots. So the idea is that when I meditate, before I go do something, the act of meditating is like drawing the arrow back, and then the act of doing something is like releasing it, and the power that I have to do what I'm going to do is greater when I've drawn the arrow back further by meditating. So that's the basic concept here, and to tell you a little bit about what it's like, I'm really enjoying being here. It was a bit of a rocky road when I first got here. It was a lot to get used to, but through settling in more to it all, and also through some good support from people who manage the place, I found a really good rhythm being here, and I feel relaxed and happy, well rested, inspired, and more playful, more like a kid in many respects. I think this is the closest I felt to being a kid in a long time, because I don't really have any real responsibilities. It's like summer break. I just get to, I've got my meditation program, and that's sort of my responsibility, but it's not a responsibility in the sense that there's no stress hanging over my head, like, I got to get this done and whatever. It's just like go with the flow, meditate, and then just have fun. Come out in the woods with my good buddy Ashaya, make a video.
Hi.
Go play sports, go in the lake. Play frisbee, all kinds of stuff. So it's really pleasant. It's a real special time in my life. And I would invite you, actually, so here's your call to action, should you accept, is I would invite you to learn transcendental meditation if you haven't already. There's so many meditation techniques out there, and I think that most of them are all really good. I haven't explored a whole lot of them myself, but I've explored transcendental meditation a lot, and it's been immensely valuable for me on a daily basis, as well as on a weekly and yearly basis, for just becoming happier and more fulfilled and more clear, and treating people better and enjoying life more, and all kinds of things. But if you look into a different meditation technique, the simple advice I would give is find something that overall feels good. And the simple metric we use for knowing that transcendental meditation has worked is that after meditating, one feels more rested than before, and one has some general good feeling that's greater than before. Which is interesting. That's after meditating. In some ways, it's more important how the meditation affects you afterwards than it is during, because at least in our philosophy here, the purpose of meditation is for life outside of meditation. So if it's worked, whatever technique you're going to use, if you feel more rested afterwards, and if you feel some general betterness afterwards. And the process should be comfortable. That's important also. You should feel comfortable in the process. So anyway, that's my invitation to you. And if you happen to already know Transcendental Meditation and you're a single man, I would totally encourage you to check out Purusha. We could use your companionship out here, and it's really a royal life in many respects. So, blessings. All right. Well, I think that sums it up.
Now, what else? There's some other point.
There's some other point. Okay.
What is the other point that should be discussed? Oh, for our YouTube viewers, what is our true intentions for putting this out on YouTube?
So if you didn't hear it, my partner here said, my partner Yeshaya Finkelstein said, what are our true intentions for putting this out? You know what?
It's about money and power.
Yeshaya says about money and power.
So smash that like button and subscribe to
Yeah, that's right. Now press subscribe right now.
And the like button.
And like the video too.
YouTube, it's important for the YouTube algorithm.
It's important for the YouTube algorithm.
And that is all that we really care about.
That's all we really care about.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think it's a fun question. I'll answer it quickly because I think the video's gone on a little bit. It's a good time to wrap it up. But I would say, to really get into the depth of it, I would love to gain a personal financial freedom through inspiring others. I think that really wraps it up. It's like I would love to have an income stream that I can have from anywhere in the world while I travel, while I eat wherever I like, whatever I do, and be able to do it through being myself and through inspiring people. Because anytime that I've gotten to make a difference for someone else, the way that it's always most fulfilling is if I help them to make some new decision in their life, or help them to enjoy their life more, or to feel better in some way. I think that's the moments that I've gotten to impact someone that way have been the most meaningful to me. More meaningful to me than perhaps giving someone a ride to the airport, or even doing office administrative work or whatever. It's like the chance to really impact the way someone feels or the way that they make decisions moves me in a deep way. And then to make an income doing that would be incredible.
Yeah, so smash that like button and subscribe.
So please go ahead and like the video and subscribe, and we'll have more content for you soon.